let me tell you about the three stereotypical people that are involved in recruiting. Number 1, the HR lady. Number 2, the senior manager. Number 3, the more or less co-worker on the same level. I never have had any problems with number 1 and number 2. But kind of with number 3, with the co-worker at the same level. When they interviewed me, or when they were partaking in an interview, I felt that they kind of rejected me. I felt that they didn't like me. They didn't want to be around me. Their body language was very cold. The questions they asked were very critical. Honestly, I really like the senior manager because there's no conflict of interest. I promise to deliver maximum and I love it. And of course, any senior manager loves when their underlings. Any senior manager loves it when their subordinates like to work a lot. That's obvious. And I also never had any problems with the HR lady because, I've never had any problems with I've never had any problems with women. So, yeah, it's like the guy at the same level who didn't want me. Maybe that's that. Just write your opinion down in the comments. I also do these videos just to get to know more about reality, to find out more about the truth, about everything in general. So maybe your experience might help me to get a better understanding of the reality I'm living in. Because of course, since due to this incredibly diplomatic language we have, it's not always easy to know what people actually thought. Oftentimes they will never tell you why you were not chosen. And this is really sad. It's really sad to be left in the dark, no hope, no money, no information, nothing. I just want to work. And I think not being allowed to work is the worst. It's worse than torture. Because if people deny your work, then they might think that you're crazy or that you will harm other people through your work. Of course, I know that there's only one person who can be chosen. But still, if this happens countless times over and over again, anybody has got any right to feel really, really bad about it. And to feel really, really bad about people who reject them. If it happens all the time. And I'm convinced. I love programming. I will solve every problem. I want it. I crave it to solve problems. That's the essence of doing actions that lead to results, is the essence of life for me. I don't want to consume. I don't want to just stroll around. I want to do something because it makes me feel good. And living in a society where that doesn't want to do anything anymore. We need 30 years of planning for fucking S-Bahn tunnel here in Munich. What's going on? Like, we're Munich. We've got a 5-star airport. What's wrong with the Deutsche Bahn? Come on. What kind of society is this? I love my country. And I love my city. I want all the best for it. I want it to prosper. But most of my countrymen are completely careless. They only think about themselves. Don't work, be lazy, take the most money with you. That's the only conclusion I have until this point. I'm always willing to change my opinion. Currently, I kind of have the impression that it's not wanted anymore. Hard-working people, they are not wanted anymore. Can you confirm this? At least not in software. Maybe we still need hardworking people in construction or whatever. Hardworking people to clean everything and so on. Sometimes I really wished I was living in the 50s or something, which was a great time for people who wanted to achieve something. Especially the 50s in America. They brought a lot of progress. A lot of the things we use today are only possible thanks to breakthroughs that were made in the 50s. For instance, AI. The theoretical models for AI were laid out in the 50s. The first computers were also built in the 50s. And the atmospheric decoherent scatter radar was also developed back then. So languages I love programming languages, but I also love human languages. This is the connection, kind of. To understand this syntax. Like, I'm extremely bad at memorizing things. But recognizing syntax, this recognition, this pattern recognition kind of, this is my strength. It's kind of built into me. And it's the exact opposite of learning something by heart. And it's kind of, I wonder about why I was most of the time thrown out after the second round. It's never been the case that it's not been the case that I had not been invited. It's like people found out something about me that they didn't understand or didn't want to hear, or that they couldn't process. Am I so much different from anybody else? What's the issue with me? Is it wrong to be passionate in Germany in 2023? Is it wrong to love what you do is it wrong to love what you do in Germany in 2023? Is it wrong to love actions that lead to results in Germany in 2023? Tell me. What do we want in Germany anymore? What do we want? What do we expect from life here? The government recently, during the COVID time, it spent 50 million euros, 50 million euros on developing our COVID app. 50 million euros. What the fuck? You don't need any money to develop anything. Of course, you need the time of people. But how many people do you need? That's just absurd. I could develop my app on my own. My app has got a range of functionalities. It facilitates matchmaking, looking for partners, submitting your information to be found by others. It facilitates a chat group. And of course, it facilitates online payment. And it also facilitates being paid out using PayPal's batch payments, although PayPal hasn't yet granted me access. So that's all it facilitates. Not all. It also facilitates to diligently and carefully check the input of every user, that it makes sense. Of course, since we're in Europe, it's a no-brainer to also have a 3D secure payment. That's also no big deal. I could set up all these. I could program all these functions for two apps, actually two. One of them the Android app, the other one the iOS app, in around about 1 year. Full time. One person. So just tell me, does anybody have a yearly salary of 50 million euros? If, let's say, the COVID app is just as many functionalities as my app, which are quite a few, but it's not like it's not an immense app. So the German COVID app is not immense either. And imagine it took you 1 year to program it on your own. But did anybody get 50 million euros? Just tell me in the comments. Where did all the 50 million euros go? And of course, there's the link to my app down in the description if you like flying. And if you want to send things quickly, maybe you can meet someone there. It basically encompasses all the airports around the world. Maybe not tiny airports or something, but all the major ones. And I wish you a great day.